Hi everyone, today we're going to be going over how to use a stick. Basically a really nice, plain, simple stick. In Maori bodywork, of the bodywork of New Zealand, they'll call it a Raakau, which has many more connotations and much more meanings than just a plain stick. But for the purposes of what we're doing for this video, that's all we need. So we've got different types. Let's say you've got much thicker ones, much longer ones. This is about as long as we want to use. It's about the same length from my shoulder to almost the tip of my hands. And if you were going to use something that's approximately rolling pin size, then it's going to be much more this kind of size, which is kind of from elbow to fingertips. So that's about right. This obviously, this is not a rolling pin, but it's around about the same length. Rolling pins tend to be a lot fatter as well. And then you've got pieces of downing, which are, again, around about that length, but this is much smaller and used for slightly different things. They have a bit more of a bite. But for the purposes of what I'm going to be using today, I'm going to go with a medium length, which is what most people will have as rolling pin size, and something a bit longer, which I find really useful. Now, when you're choosing something to use, definitely make sure it's something smooth. You don't want splinters rubbing into your skin, so definitely don't have anything that's rough. Also, no jagged or rough edges, because again, you could spike yourself. So you don't want anything poking into yourself like that, something that's uncomfortable or dangerous. So, of course, please use your common sense and use something that's fairly smooth. One piece of wood preferably, because if it has a break in it somewhere and you're applying pressure to yourself, it might snap or crack or break, and that's not what we want. What this is really simple doweling, bought from a DIY store. And I think I bought something that's quite large, about 3 meters, and cut it down to these kind of sizes. So all in all, this probably costs about £1, perhaps even less, $1. So it's not much at all. So it's got to be smooth, no jagged edges, something that's not going to shatter and break, something that's not going to splinter, and something that's going to remain sturdy under pressure. So that's that. And the longer one here, now this is an eskrima stick or arnis. It's basically a Filipino fighting stick. Now they come in different lengths. This is around about 28 inches, I believe. And this is made from bahay. Bahay is basically, this one's coconut wood. So the inside of a coconut tree. So fairly sturdy actually, fairly sturdy. It's got some weight to it as well, but I'm not sure if you can pick it up on camera, but it's quite smooth. And there are definitely no splinters on this. The edges are very smooth. It's all one piece, so it's not going to break. Definitely not going to break. If I'm using it on my own body. And yes, the weight's really good to it. So please choose something one piece, smooth, no splinters, no jagged edges, nothing that's going to break, and nothing jagged or sharp on either end. So you've got to be really safe, and really please use your common sense when you do this. If you have any doubts, please don't do this at all. Don't do it too hard on yourself, and don't do it on anybody else. If you've just had any operations, any surgery, if you've got breaks in the skin from an accident, rash, or something like psoriasis or eczema, please don't do this. If you have any metal plates or screws in your neck, or had surgery in the last 6 months, please don't do this. This is really for people who currently have tightness in the muscles. And that's basically it. There aren't any other surgical issues, no chronic issues which need a doctor's advice. So you don't have osteoporosis or osteoarthritis or anything else. This is purely to be used only on the muscles. This is not to be used on the bones. Okay. So we'll start with the smaller piece, because this is what most people have, something about this size. And we're going to learn how to use this on the neck. Now, what I don't want to do is to go right on the bones of the neck. The kind of spinal column. What I want to do is use it on the muscles of the neck, which I'll kind of display, I'll turn around in a moment. We want to avoid this side, we want to avoid the arteries and the veins. We don't want to be pressing into blood vessels. That's painful and it's not a good idea. It's dangerous. So what we're trying to do is limit ourselves to just the back muscles here, the back of the neck, just here. So if that's my spine, I'm just coming to the side of it. Remember, if in doubt, don't do this. But the muscles, if you can feel them, sometimes they're a bit tight. That's what you want to massage into. And it's really simple. So I'll show you from the front, then the side, and then I'll turn around so you can see it from the back. And I'll show you a really easy pressing technique for the neck. And what you do is just basically hold one side still, and then this side is going to be used as a lever and a pressing. So from the front, what it looks like is that I'm holding this here and I'm pressing just the one side in to my neck, and then I let go. When I press in, I want to breathe out. So there's a short, soft, relaxed. And then I press in. That's it. And I don't want to press too hard, too long. I'm not trying to injure myself. You might only do this for a total of 30 seconds. So, press in. So remember, this hand is staying exactly still. It's just holding, it's doing nothing. This hand is doing all the work. And I just press in. Now the best way to do it, or one of the really good ways of doing it, is to press in for a 3 to 4 count. So press in and breathe out whilst you're doing that to release the tension, and then you let go. Might take 1 second, maybe 2 if you want. So it's here. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, let go. It's really simple. So from the side, hold this one still, and I press and breathe out. Press and breathe out. Press, breathe out. Now if I do it from the rear, so here, hold this one still, and I can press, breathe out, press and breathe out. Now what I can do is move down the neck, so I can go down and. Now I'm not too sure if it's clear, but this is the centre of my neck, and what I'm doing is pressing to the side. So if these are the bones of the neck here, I'm completely avoiding those, completely. I'm going to the side, and because this is at an angle, and I'm not sure again if you can see it, but this is at an angle, it's at this kind of angle, it's angling away from the spine. So I'm not pressing the spine at all I'm doing is coming in at a 45-degree angle, roundabouts-ish, onto the muscle and just pressing onto there. So press, press, press. And as you can see, I'm moving down the neck from there. Let's see what it's like with the longer stick. So again, I can just place that on my shoulder. This is the side that I'm going to fix, and I just press. Move down. And move down, and let's do the other side. So all I do is swap hands, just keep that there, find what's comfortable. There we go, that's comfortable for me. And then as you notice, this is on the spine. This is what I'm trying not to do. I move off the spine and I'm now resting on the muscles. This one stays still, and this one will do the pressing now. So breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. So I hope that makes sense. Sorry about that. So what I'm doing is basically holding and doing this as I breathe out. Now if this is the back of my head, what I don't want to be doing is going straight on. I don't want to go straight onto my neck. I'm coming in at an angle onto my neck area like this, and then pressing in from the side. See that? It's got this kind of levering type action. That's what's happening here. This is flat, that would be wrong, and it hurts straight away. So that moves back, now there's no pressure at all on the bones, and I just press into the muscles. Now I'm not going particularly hard, I'm just pressing in and breathing out before anything hurts too much. I'm just trying to take out some of the tension and just trying to get to an area that would otherwise be difficult to get to. Now the rules with this, as I've said, with regards to the stick, I've explained, and to the neck, you never press into any bones, never press into anything in the front where the arteries and veins are. This is purely for this small portion of the back of the neck here. Okay, so if you avoid the bones, and if you avoid the side of the neck and only press here, and if you don't have any other medical issues, you'll be completely safe. So that's how to very gently That's hard to the neck. And you, again, like I said, you do this for about 10 to 20 or 30 seconds, and you're done, and you can swap over to the other side. Now, the tight muscles here, they need a longer stick. Now, a shorter stick can work. I prefer to use a longer one. It just has more leverage, more weight, and it's just a fairly slow, relaxed tapping technique. You can see I'm not hitting myself. I'm just basically letting it drop. Even if I did this with just holding it, that's all that's happening. I'm raising it up and letting it drop. Now, I'm using the longer stick because it has a bit more weight to it. So that's what I need. And what I need to do, again, same rule, is if you have any injuries or any problems, any diagnosed issues, just don't do this. This is purely for anyone who's quite well and has some tension in the muscles. So it's all for the muscles. So I don't want to hit the bone here. That's really, really important. And I don't want to hit the bones here. I'm just aiming just the muscles. And I'll do it just to find out where that is. It's just very lightly tap here. And I know I've got the right area. Now, if you move over onto something that's a bit bony, one, you'll hear it. Two, it will definitely hurt. So don't do that. You've got this very small area, about 2 or 3 inches, in which that you can play with. And I'm just dropping this down into that area here. It's really simple. I'm not trying to hurt myself or hit my head or anything else. I'm just basically quite exact, and I'm just lifting and letting it drop. And if you want, you can breathe out on impact as well. The breathing out just releases tension. So, and of course I can do it on the other side. It's easier if I hold it in the same side hand, and I just so, 2 techniques taken from Maori Bodywork. This is for self-massage only. Please don't do this on anyone else. Make sure you're using a stick safely. That's obviously safe. It doesn't have any splinters. It's not going to break with pressure. And it doesn't have any jagged edges. And basically, be gentle with yourself. Only go into the muscle tissue. Don't press onto bones. Don't hit any bones. And if you have any kind of medical issues that require you to be careful, please don't do this at all. And I hope it helps. If you have any questions, drop me a text or an email and just ask away. Thank you.